Hello everybody and welcome back to Red Devils TV. Now, today we got an announcement, breaking news about an update about Mason Greenwood. Now, it's a video that I don't feel comfortable doing, but I would like to address it to the audience that do watch me on this channel. So I do obviously want to address it, and I want to talk about all things Manchester United and the breaking news and stuff. So yes, this is based on Manchester United. This is breaking news. Obviously it happened several hours ago and I was at work, so obviously I haven't been able to do it as the breaking news occurred. I've also been patient and I've also waited for more things to come out as things have gone on. So I've got a few quotes here on my laptop just to talk about it. So I'm not really going to give my opinion on it because I feel like it's not my opinion to say, but I'm just going to address of what's happened. So first of all, we've got many people in our fan base, some on side A and some on side B. Side A believe that they are happy that Mason Greenwood is going to become a Manchester United player again. And side B are the minority of that if Mason Greenwood returns as a Manchester United player, they'll never go to Old Trafford again. So obviously you've got the minority, and for me, I'm kind of in the middle. And obviously I said I'm not going to give my opinion because I feel like that the law system is innocent until proven guilty. That's the way our law system in the UK is suited. So I'm a bit conflicted about it. I'm more on the side of B because personally I've heard the voice notes, I've seen the pictures, and for me, I just think it's better for all parties to part ways. I think it's best for both parties. But again, this is just my opinion. I know I said I'm not going to get too in depth with my opinion, but that's all I'm going to give you. I am going to read some of the quotes now. And it started off by saying, breaking news, Greater Manchester Police say proceedings against a 21-year-old man arrested in January 2022 have been discontinued by the CPS, and that this decision has not been taken lightly. CPS have confirmed that this is Mason Greenwood. They're issuing a statement shortly. So that was the first quote that came out, and then it followed on to say, a CPS spokesman said, in this case, a combination of the withdrawal of key witnesses and new material that came to light meant there was no longer a realistic prospect of conviction. In these circumstances, we are under duty to stop the case. So realistically, first, just reading off them first two quotes, I think that there's money involved. And I feel like that this is what happens when a very powerful celebrity, in this case Mason Greenwood, who has a lot of money, can kind of jeopardise the system. Because if this was your average man working at Tesco's, then you guarantee he will be locked up. And this is where the saying is that money talks. And there says that they can't, they said that they are, with the circumstances, that they are in duty to stop the case. You can have cases and a witness not to be involved because it's called what's it called? It's called an unwitnessed trial or something like that. So obviously the witness will give their statement but aren't involved in the court case. So them court cases have happened before. My girlfriend does law and at uni, and she's spoke about these certain trials, about how they work and stuff. So the CPS spokesman who's said that quote isn't chatting shit, really. Obviously, actually, no, I can't say that. I need to be professional. I don't think that it sounds like a bit untruthful in my eyes. And because obviously, like I've just said, there are certain cases out there that you can look on like the Manchester Evening News and stuff, where there's non-witnessed people in the court cases, but have given their statements, their evidence and stuff against the defendant. But what we all need to remember, first of all, is that there's still a victim involved in this case, whether Mason Greenwood is innocent or not. At the end of the day, the victim is his ex-girlfriend, There are rumours that they're back together. I don't know. I personally don't think they are, because if that was the case, then that would be very stupid of both parties that are involved in Harriet and Mason Greenwood, because at the end of the day, it's not my opinion to say what their relationship was like, if they're as both as bad as each other, if Mason Greenwood is the complete person who was the violent act in the conversation. But like I said, that it's still a person at the end of the day. There's still a family, and I'm just going to carry on reading some of the quotes. So the GMP chief SUPT, I would, however, like to use this opportunity to reiterate the GMP's commitment to investigating allegations of violence against women and girls and supporting those affected, regardless of their circumstances, throughout what can be a hard and upsetting time for them. So that's pretty much talking about how people who are going through this don't feel like that you can't talk to people is the thing that I'm getting from that, because they're talking about how these allegations and violence acts against women and girls is wrong and it will be taken seriously by the police. And then there's another quote by another CPS spokesman saying that we would always encourage any potential victims to come forward and report to the police, and we will prosecute wherever our legal test is met. So again, it's the way I'm looking at it is kind of what I said before about how the average person, you're working a 9-to-5 job, if you are convicted of a crime like this, then it's going to be taken not as much seriously, but 9 times out of 10 is going to be more like you're either going to get sent down and it is going to trial. I don't think that the witness or the victim would drop these charges. So there's a few more quotes I just want to say, and this one is Mason Greenwood's statement. And Mason Greenwood said this: "I'm relieved that this matter is now over, and I would like to thank my family, loved ones and friends for their support. There will be no further comments at this time." So Mason Greenwood, he's obviously relieved that this whole situation's over, and again, that's not my place to say. I'm not going to sit here and call him a scumbag. I'm not going to sit here and say that he's innocent. But what we all have to remember is that in our law system, in the law's eyes, is that if there's not enough evidence to prosecute someone, then you're innocent. That's it, because it's innocent until proven guilty. That's the way the law works in the UK. And right now, with the witnesses that have backed out of the allegations, and now Mason Greenwood's no longer going to trial, he's no longer charged, he is now a free man and he is therefore innocent in the law's eyes. For other people of the public who have their own opinions, that's for them to decide and have their own opinions on Mason Greenwood. For me, I'm not going to address my opinion out here, because I feel like that it's not my place to say, and that's just me trying to be professional, because obviously I take my YouTube channel very seriously and would not like any backlash, considering I'm trying to come across as a serious YouTuber who is a passionate Manchester United fan. And I'm not going to sit here drawing in people for clicks and views. I'm going to give my personal in-depth analysis like I do on my football, like on tactics and stuff, but therefore on this current situation. So I don't want to profit or benefit from this current situation, because again, like I said, there's a victim involved, and therefore if it happened or not, the victim still obviously the victim still puts it out there that obviously the video, the voice notes and stuff, and the evidence is there, but obviously with the witnesses backing out, apparently they now no longer have enough evidence. So it's a confusing one for me, that's for sure. And there's just one more quote that I'd like to say, and it's not really a quote, it's more of a statement. It's from a Twitter account called The United Plug on Twitter. They're a very good source for where I get a majority of my Manchester United information from. It's The United Plug, the Central Devils and The United Stand are the Twitter accounts that I follow to get the best Manchester United information, you could say, when it comes to my YouTube channel and what I tweet about on Twitter as well. So yeah, The United Plug said this: Mason Greenwood will not train or play with Manchester United until the club have completed an internal investigation into how the allegations against the player ended up being made. So, and that was made by, it was Simon Stone, a football reporter for the BBC, who is a very credible, spokesman when it comes to all the information around football. He's mainly does Manchester United, he does Manchester United, he speaks about Manchester United a lot, that's the team he mainly focuses on. But I personally feel like that whatever happens, and if Mason Greenwood does play for Manchester United again, then that's down to the club, and however fans react to that, that's again on them, because I've seen polls all over Twitter that are literally 50-50, and I saw one someone who I follow on Twitter who follows me back, and they have about I think it's 18,000 followers or something like that, and what they did a poll, and it had about 8,000 votes, and it was bang on 50-50. So again, like I said, you've got the minority of A and a minority of B, and where you sit on that, that's completely up to your opinion. And I feel like that I'm not going to sit here and say I disagree with one, I disagree with the other, because if we're listening and the facts are there, that if you are innocent until proven guilty, like the law system is in this country, then Mason Greenwood, for now, is innocent. And that's all we've got to go off. Like I said, I personally feel like it's best for the club and Mason Greenwood for both parties to part ways, because I feel like that the toxicity in the fan base will just erupt and it will just be the wrong thing to do. But again, that's just my opinion. But what we've got to remember as well is that Mason Greenwood was a very talented player when he was at Manchester United. He's currently 21. He's missed 14 months of his career. And he was, as I said when he was a Manchester United player, pretty much every single Manchester United fan liked him. He was a generational talent, is what I called him. He was one of the most exciting Manchester United players to come from the youth system in a very long time. So realistically, whatever happens. And I'm not going to sit here and give my mass opinion of how I really feel, because really I don't know how I feel. But this is the type of video that I don't really like making, because obviously you know me, if you're this far into the video as well, obviously you know me, and I like to give my opinion on things. So when I have to take a step back and I have to give my opinion but also not give my full opinion, it's quite difficult, because obviously this is a Manchester United fan channel, and I made this channel for fans and me personally to express our opinions, because that's what we are. We're all Manchester United fans, and we want the thing which is Manchester United back on top, winning Premier Leagues, winning League Cups, back in the Champions League, winning FA Cups. We all want the same thing for Manchester United, and that is glory. But when it comes to Mason Greenwood, until an official statement comes out for either Manchester United or whether, pretty much that's the only thing that's going to be deciding whether Mason Greenwood becomes a Manchester United player or not. I'm not going to be mentioning Mason Greenwood on this channel anytime soon. So yes, if you're this far into the video, thank you for watching today's video. Please remember to like, subscribe, comment and share, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.